Hey, how are you?
What is going on, Tim? How you
How's
doing?
traffic? Good. Good to see you again.
Yeah, likewise. Traffic is amazing, miraculous, fantastic. It's like rain in the desert. It's
Yep.
this is what's going to go on. I'm just going to do the intro and we'll just start rolling. And we'll talk
Cool.
about last time we saw each other, what you've been up to, the
Yeah.
presentation that I saw, and we'll talk about your game. We'll talk about some other cool topics about social media. So if you
Groovy. Let's rock and roll.
if you could get ready, when you need to be sitting down for this, no
Mhm.
aerobics, no um,
I'll
jazzercise.
get some water. How about that? I'll get water.
All
Just
right, you want to get some water? It's not allowed.
real quick. Has to be dry. Let's do the cinnamon challenge beforehand.
Hey, this whole podcast is going to be a mannequin challenge, essentially.
All right, ready
So
to rock.
I'm probably going to just include all of this in the podcast because it's raw, it's real, it's
Why not?
natural.
Why
Not
not?
pre-
Yeah, it's
not
so much
pre-rehearsed.
better too.
We're not
Yeah.
looking at teleprompters. All right,
No.
so here's the intro, and then we'll just get started.
Welcome to Zen and the Art of Social Media with your host, Trevor W. Goodchild, Facebook alum turned startup CEO. If you're an enterprising entrepreneur who's looking to start a business that makes a difference, you're in the right place. Let's get started.
Let's get started. So this is Trevor W. Goodchild here, host of Zen and the Art of Social Media. Thank you so much for joining us. It's amazing that we're all even alive in 2020. That a meteorite full of COVID hasn't just hit the entire earth and destroyed us all. Thank God we're still here. We're still surviving. We're still running our startup businesses. We're still looking to scale. We're still looking to become the best versions of ourselves, personally and professionally. And today I am honored to have a guest on to speak with us named Tim Palladino. Now, how are you doing, Tim?
I'm doing well. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here as well. So, for those that are tuning in for the first time, I am a Facebook policy specialist. I worked at Facebook for several years in ads as well as tech. So, if Facebook's telling you that your ad is disapproved and won't tell you why, and to top it all off, you have all this revenue being stopped as a roadblock. I can help you out with it and decodify what their policies is and how to get back on the right track with Facebook. Feel free to reach out at Trevor at trevorwgoodchild.com. If you need done for you social media marketing, I've got a strong team of people that can do Google ads, Bing ads, Facebook ads, content marketing. Mark Zuckerberg is not a robot. Just go ahead and go to trevorwgoodchild.com and click on get results now, and we'll help you get results. Now, when I first saw you, Tim, I've only seen
Mhm.
you once before. And so we was at internet marketing party run by the
Yeah.
angelic David Gonzalez, who
Yeah.
is incredible. This man is connected to everyone.
He
And,
is. He's the
it was
Kevin
that
Bacon of internet marketing.
he is. He's the Kevin Bacon of internet marketing for real. And it was unfortunately not in the usual place before COVID that it was at,
Yeah.
which is the Speakeasy at Fourth and Congress in Austin, Texas, and it's a great venue. I love it.
Hmm.
Instead we were at a really confusing venue called the
Hmm.
Venue.
Yeah.
So many
Yeah.
people were like, "Where is it at?" The venue. I know, but which venue? The venue. It took some clarification for some of us, I being one, to figure out the
Hmm.
venue was the actual name of the place. And I get there, and what do I see? So, just to be honest, I don't feel every presentation I go to. I've been to a lot of marketing
Hmm.
conferences, and
Sure.
some people maybe they have a product or a service. It's like, I'm kind of lukewarm, kind of mad about it. But when I saw
Hmm.
your team present your board game for entrepreneurs, the Side Hustle, I was really impressed. And I didn't get a chance.
Thank you.
You were busy, networking and doing your thing, so we didn't get a chance to talk at length. But
Yeah. Wild night.
yeah, I did want to say I loved it, and I love the
That's
concept
great.
behind it, and it's amazing. So, talk about
I
that, and
appreciate
talk
that.
about what it is, and kind of the or superhero origin stories. Like, how did that come together?
Yeah.
Who else
Yeah.
involved?
So, yeah, it was built as a team, but it kind of follows my own gestalt or like zeitgeist from when I was growing up. I've always been in service-based businesses. This is my real, my first rodeo with a product. So, but everything that I've learned in the service world, I've been able to put into this. So, this game is based on it was based on a improv game, but also a game that many of us kind of play anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So the nuts and bolts of the game are you're broken up into 4 teams. One person plays the investor. The other 3 teams play the pitcher. The investor pulls a card, that's the business name, and then rolls a dice that has an industry. So the 3 teams that play the pitcher have 2 minutes to come up with the funny or a fundable business idea to pitch the investor. So each one of them go, and the investor has the power to grant them the funny or fundable card or both. And then it rotates. The first player, or the first team rather, with 5 funny or fundable cards wins. Nice and simple, but it's amazing how much fun it actually is, showing your negotiation chops, getting your creativity in there. Even if you're not an entrepreneur, this is really, really fun. You know, I've seen one of my buddy's girlfriends just flourish. She's played this a ton of times with us. We did about, I think we had over 80 different people play this game in the phase of I can't think of the term, the beta testing phase. Yeah, thank you. That's what happens when it's 6:30 at night. The beta testing phase, and it's really cool because they not only did I see each one grow and enjoy it, whether they're an entrepreneur or not, but I actually saw confidence, like from people that didn't exude it before, and I saw people see each other differently and have even deeper conversations about why something was a good idea or if it was a good idea, and it really got people's brains going. So that was really, really fun.
Nice. Yeah, I like the description that I saw on the video on YouTube about it, that it's apples to apples meets Shark Tank. And that not only is it fun to play with your friends, but it also helps build presenting skills. And I love that idea that you can cultivate presenting skills while having fun, drinking with your friends, pitching out not just the best idea, but maybe the funniest. Can we get an app that automatically detects your dog's future per its horoscope? I mean, where are my angel investors for that?
Yeah, one of my favorite combinations is a business called Scrappy Cats. That's one of the cards. It was in tech and apps. Yeah. And my pitch for that when we were building this all was a VR headset for cats for underground boxing. So it's just so silly, or it could be serious. And it's kind of has that apples to apples feel where you're going towards the investor. You know, you're pitching to the investor, not what you think is best. So you have it changes every round.
Yeah. No, that's an amazing it's an amazing game. I really love the concept behind that. And I think you're also in a really good position with, you know, unfortunately, due to how crazy things are right now, a lot of people are working remote. A lot of people are having private gatherings if they're all safe. They're not going out to clubs as much. And so as a result, people are at home more, and things like board games are seeing an uptick in sales. And so I think right now it's a great time, especially for something as innovative as this.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Our interest keeps on growing. People want to play it remotely. You know, that's pushing us to start thinking about new ideas like apps. You know, the obvious way is to do it through a Zoom call. We might be able to, for not too much money, because we have a lot of talent, especially here in Austin, Texas, create an app that we can all play on at the same time and have a really nice, smooth game without any interruption or impedance using older technology. So we can do something. We can actually create something unique.
Yeah, I think that would be really nice. Is an app or a browser powered game where people can mutually log on and they can still virtually play with that. And I think that has some great possibilities. Now, of course, if you need any video animation, you know, Matt Winter's there. You can shout out to Matt. He can definitely do some cool CGI stuff. But it was fantastic seeing you there at the Internet Marketing Party. And so you say your background is in service. Go ahead and expand a little bit about that.
Yeah. So just a heads up, I am, I guess what I like to consider myself, an entrepreneurial anthropologist. Since I was a kid, I was just start it and figure it out. I mean, we're talking like 12 years old. Like, mow lawns, pull weeds, whatever. My first actual company, I think I was about 15, and my mom helped me set up the LLC. And all I did was basically pay the $800 or whatever and never do anything. So I had no idea what I was doing, but I was so gung ho about it. And that was a t-shirt company, and ironically, it was called Impulse Clothing Design. So from there, it's been I've been in construction. I've been in arts and entertainment. Real estate, like you name it. I've gotten so much experience with all of these different styles of businesses. It allowed me to kind of coach in a sense where I'm just like guiding. Like it's really fun to have the conversations because I love the first 90 days of any business. But I sold one of my businesses a little over, I guess it's 2 years now, 3 years, October 17. And since then I've kind of been trying to find home and see what's next. When I sold that business, it gave me,
What business? What was
actually, it was an electrical contracting company. I started it when I was 20, I think I was 22.
Oh yeah.
And I sold it. Yeah. And then I grew it to a little over 6 million a year and decided it wasn't serving me anymore. I didn't want the phone calls at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Sure.
I mean, the pay was great. I was getting everything I needed out of it financially, but I wasn't serving myself or my peers the way I wanted to.
I love that. I don't love that you were miserable. I love the fact that you felt the calling and you acted on it. It's very similar with me. I was working at Facebook, supporting Facebook servers and remote access tools for Facebook staff globally across the world, essentially helping keep Facebook.com online. I was paid the most I've ever been paid at any other job. I was given a MacBook and an iPhone. If I didn't want to, I didn't have to pay a phone bill. Facebook would take care of it. And I had unlimited data from their Facebook's Wi-Fi hotspot on the phone. I went to Paris, France, and London, and was able to stream internet stronger than the local Wi-Fi. It was without having to change out the SIMs for the different languages, right? I mean, so many convenient things. I could watch ducks at the pond in Central Market, North Lamar, and support Facebook servers. But if there was a crash in Facebook servers, my business phone would go off at 3 a.m. in the morning, and I get woken up, and it was like, you know what? I love this job. This is the best job I ever had, but it's not my calling, right? It's not what I feel called to do. Let me step outside of that and see what that is, and here we are, right? So it's great that you heeded that call. And tell me about the other people involved in SideHustle.
Yeah, so right now we have a new partner and still an existing founder. So Darby Rollins is one of our partners. He's one of the founding partners, and Tomar Saran. They're both right here in Austin. We're all Tomar and I are pretty new. I think we've been here for under 2 years, both of us, and Darby's been here for quite a while. Yeah,
go back to Cali, go back to Los Angeles. We're all full here.
That's funny because I tell people like I came here from LA. They always tell me to go back. We're like, but I'm from New York, and they're like, oh, okay, cool.
No, it's that's a whole other conversation. What I was going to say
is going back to that service base and it not being my calling.
Yeah,
that kind of feeds right into why we created SideHustle. Because this is an opportunity to take a break. It's one of the hardest things to do is to rationalize taking a break as an entrepreneur.
Sure.
Because we really think that we're losing when we take a break, and we're not. We're actually, we're getting rid of real stress hormones and releasing plaque and all kinds of
cortisol,
mental health. Well, yeah, exactly. And this is a way where you can still be, you could still be adding to your skill set while relaxing and bonding with friends, family, and loved ones, and even coworkers.
It's not
very
just
simple.
And you sound like you're not just the president of the hair club for men. You're a member. So
So I mean, an honest to God story is when I sold my business, I was the most miserable I've ever been.
Yeah,
I didn't have community. I didn't have any way. I didn't understand balance.
Yeah,
I have in my other work with my pods programs and coaching and stuff like that. It's all spelled out. But a little preview to that is, it's about I have 3 pillars. I have my personal responsibility, the truth to my path, and my community.
Sure.
right? And finding balance in all of that is kind of what we're trying to do with Side Hustle Games, like the company itself. We're trying to be able to educate people and bring them together, because my girlfriends or my family members, they don't understand why I get so excited about a new business. But this is a way for me to get real excited, and them to see me get real excited, them to get real excited, and then they kind of understand. And now we're doing what I love to do together. So it's really, and it's really cool to share something that you're super passionate about. And it's one of the hardest things to share that is business and entrepreneurship, because it's never been tangible in a sense.
Let's talk about that for a second, because that's super big here in the startup world, right? Is that disconnect between mindsets of 9-to-5ers and entrepreneurs. And it's very difficult, especially when it comes to longtime friends and family, about a year ago, a year and a half ago, one of my really good friends, known since the childhood, right? He said I was a fool for trying to get into entrepreneurship, and that it was just a big scam. And this guy, he's an amazing guy. This guy he's a really good person. He's made a very positive impact in my life. He's not one of those asshole friends that you have that are always kind of making those remarks, right?
Always kind of negging.
Yeah. No, he's a good guy, but he's an older guy. He comes from a different school of thought. He comes from the whistle blows at the factory. You take your lunch, the whistle blows, you come back from lunch, right? It's circadian rhythm programmed into you. The idea or concept of living outside of that is just foreign and alien. And so it's amazing what a disconnect this is. And, just to be honest, not everyone can be an entrepreneur. Not everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, even aside from old mindset versus current mindset, right? And, post-internet becoming dominant, right? There are people that they need that guidance. They need other people to take the lead. They don't really want to be an entrepreneur, and that's fine, But at the same time, like, I want you to talk a little bit more about maybe some of your experiences as well with kind of seeing and observing that disconnect.
Yeah. So I've always been, I guess, lucky as an entrepreneur, because I had a healthy disregard of reality. So I could see things 10 steps ahead, but when I was going to explain them to friends, family, and other people in my life, other coworkers and such, it'd be very difficult for them to see what I saw possible. And and they would always have an adverse reaction, as if I was about to do something very dangerous, not just like, hey, a little bit of warning. It was like, yo, you're going to be in peril.
You're wrestling a shark, Tim. You're wrestling a shark.
And I would always hear these things, and in my head, it's so simple. But I of course, it bothered me. It definitely bothered me growing up, and also definitely influenced me to push harder. I'll show them, the whole
There's nothing satisfaction when you've reached a milestone, and you're like, oh, y'all said I couldn't do it. Y'all said I couldn't do it. When I reached that, I didn't rub it in my friend's face. I'm not petty, but it still felt really good to be vindicated. Be like, you know what? I'm making more money than I did at Facebook. It's like, I told y'all I could do it. And so I'm sure you have a good feeling too when you've reached a milestone. That business, you said it was a contracting business.
Yeah. Yep. That was an electrical contracting business.
Yeah. I bet that felt good when, before there was burnout. I bet that felt good when you were, felt like you were on top of the world.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it just took a little bit of, now I'm at a point in life where no one really says it to me anymore. But even before that, I got to a point where I could just respectfully disagree. Listen to them, say, thank you for your advice and your concern, and then just mosey on and kick ass. Like
thank you. If I wanted your opinion, I'd give it to you. But thanks for your 2 cents.
Because I do truly feel like it's out of love. Like, they're not saying it to be jerks.
Right.
They're saying it because they think they know better, and not that they don't. Not that I know better, but it's definitely out of concern and for my best interest.
Sure.
But
there's just a disconnect, and I think it comes down to just the way schools are, and the fact that schools are very antiquated with how they train kids these days. these days, since our parents were kids, right? It's been, these days have been like 1800s to present, right? So,
yeah.
And it's, not everyone, like I said, because I've talked to friends of mine, right? And they know what I do, and they're happy that I'm succeeding, but they've also expressed to me that they don't want to do that. Not all of them. Some of them are actually trying to learn from what I'm doing and take my example and run with it themselves. And it's awesome. But when you go to schools, you have this kind of systemic way of saying, all right, you better memorize all these things, not you better learn how to think. You better learn how to cultivate the sense of like, how can I really use this information in a way that doesn't just teach you how to get a job, but how to keep a job, and maybe how to go beyond a job. Like, what about social skills? What about, I know there's some development of social emotional learning in schools now, right? But why isn't finance and economics requisite classes in middle school and high school?
100%. 100%. I was never taught anything about. I had to teach myself more out of high school than when I was in high school.
Yeah.
I did a terrible job because I'm not good at memorizing things. I'm not good at indoctrination.
Yeah.
I'm one that needs parameters to keep me in line, but I need to figure the puzzle out. We're taught how to cook. We're not taught recipes.
Right.
Like, it's very interesting. Yeah. There's actually a book called Ratio about cooking, and it talks about how all cooking works. And it's not talking about like how to cook Italian food or like that, but it's just talking about like the perfect ratios that all food must meet.
Huh.
And it's really it's really fascinating. When I picked that up, it kind of blew my mind. I was like, oh, that's how I learn. I understand a baseline foundational parameter, and then I apply that, and then just solve.
I love that.
They don't teach us. Yeah, and they don't, because in school, I have a gripe on school. So in school, they give you the answers, not give you the questions. They make you, they force you to know an answer and repeat it, versus what questions are you supposed to ask? Hey, when you're solving for X, what are you supposed to do here? And sometimes the obstacle is the way, and that's where all the learning comes from.
Yeah. I'll make another analogy that I was reminded of when you were talking about that. So I'm a musician. I play multiple instruments, and one of the things that I'm really trying to get into right now is classical piano. And
very cool.
I play improvisation, right? But so the reverse is true, right? The reverse is true as well. So if all you do is improvise without structure, unless you're like Amadeus Mozart or whatever, but if you don't have that structure starting out, it's going to go all over the place. You're not going to understand what's possible. But when you have that framework, you learn how to read music, you know how to do scales, you can play some songs, right? You understand some of that modern theory, but you're not wearing a white wig and just sticking only to the standards, right? You're able to say, okay, I have a template now. Yep. I can modify this. I can add some rolls in here and there. I can extemporaneously like go off the chart and make up my own kind of inner melody here and there, in addition to keeping with the format. And then you have something beautiful, because you're taking something that already is well defined. It's got some structure, but that's when improvisation comes into play. And I think startup life and entrepreneurship is very much about improvisation, thinking on the fly, testing as you go, right? And being able to pivot quickly, like we're just seeing post March 2020, and find a way to keep thriving. And I think it's like music in a way. It's you have jazz, a structure of the 9 to 5, then entrepreneurship is taking some of that and then going, but what else? What else?
Yeah. And what's so important about that is that's going to happen inevitably. It happens in everybody's entrepreneurial journey. And one of the rules that my dad taught me as a kid is it's a game. Learn the rules and then you can win.
Yeah.
It's that's simple. And that's exactly why we're creating games, so people can get more into that mindset. Because everything I do, every challenge that comes across my desk is a game.
Yeah.
I will figure it out. What are the players? What are the rules? What do I have to do? Who can help?
Do you play chess?
There's all. I used to a lot. With my dad. Yeah.
Well, I'm just now getting into it after watching Queen's Gambit, and just I was like, all right, I bought a chessboard. If you ever want to play, let me know.
I'll definitely play. I want to play you soon though, so you don't get way too ahead of me. Because then, yeah, I'm a sore loser now playing.
hey, I just figured out how the pieces move. Right, so you don't have a lot to. There's not a big gap here, but yeah, we'll go to like Kirby Land or something, have lunch, and play some chess.
That'd be great. I'd really like that.
That'd be awesome. So you said, and we're about to wrap up, but
sure.
I wanna also just point out something that you said here. You talked about something called gamification. You know, you look at things as a game. Who are the players? You know, what's going to happen? Chess teaches strategy on that level. This is part of why I want to learn chess and get good at chess, is to kind of use that as a transformation for business strategy and things like that. Gamification, whether we're talking about, you know, social emotional learning in schools, or we're talking about taking on challenges as an entrepreneur in the market, in the industry, in your competition, learning that skill set. There is amazing breakthroughs you can have when you're using play. When you're using the art of play, your mind ceases to see the same obstacles and thinking and the blocks in your perspective, because you're like, not like what is possible, but what could happen, what could be, right? That switch of a mindset and framing that in a play mindset and a gamification mindset, that does amazing stuff. Einstein did that, you know?
Yeah, gamification, the reason it's so, I'll use the term magical, it's a very Austin word, is because of perspective. That's all it is. You know, if you're racing, think about when you're racing a car, right? You're the guy behind the wheel, you're going around the turns and everything like that. But in your ear is your coach, letting you know how close you are to the center ring, how far you can go if someone's coming around. So now now it becomes a game, because not only are you going forward, you're recognizing 360 degrees around you. And you have this perspective that allows you to be propelled so much farther than if it was just you looking straight. So perspective is the key ingredient to any kind of gamification.
Yeah, I agree. That's wonderful. So where can people go to get their own copy of Side Hustle, the entrepreneur game, the new party game for entrepreneurs? Where can they go?
Yes, super excited about this. They can go to playsidehustle.com. They can
say that slower. Say that slower.
playsidehustle.com. They can go to, they can find us on social media at playsidehustle.com. It's the New Yorker in me. I speak at 100 miles an hour.
Hey, it's fine, but we're down south now.
I know. I'm trying.
You got to slow your roll just a little bit. All right. Well, thanks so much for coming on Zen and the Art of Social Media with me today, Tim.
Definitely
I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And for those that are listening, this is Trevor W. Goodchild. I'm a Facebook policy expert. If you have Facebook issues and Facebook's not explaining, email me at trevor@trevorwgoodchild.com. Or if you need social media marketing done for you ads, go to trevorwgoodchild.com. And what's your thought for going into wintertime? You know, it's winter's coming, memes. What is your parting thoughts to entrepreneurs out there for what they should focus on in the last part of Q4?
Gratitude. You know, this is the harvest, man. This is the harvest season. Take everything that happened, I'll choose my words wisely, everything that happened in this past year and may continue to happen, and just understand that you're here now, you're breathing, you're loved, you're excited about something, go for it. Appreciate yourself and be thankful that you are where you are.
That's a great way to end it. All right. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in to Zen and the Art of Social Media. Stay real, challenge yourself, and keep on keeping on.